Assalamu alaikum, listeners, and welcome to the final episode of Sunnah and Spice, which is all about the prophetic wisdom meets practical cooking on Iman One Radio. Now, I'm Alvina Ali, and as always, joining me in the studio today, once again for the last time, is the lovely Nicki Kainth, also known as the Indian Foodiva. Now, this week, we're talking about Eid without excess, how to enjoy the celebrations, the feasting, and the joy of Eid while staying mindful, healthy, and following the Sunnah. Now, we will be sharing recipes for Eid, tips for balanced celebrations, and practical ways to avoid overeating. And yes, our show is sponsored by Indus, the world's finest foods, with a chance for you, the listeners, to win a delicious Indus food Eid hamper simply by calling us on 01902 972 150 or sending a WhatsApp message to 07440 420 432. So wait for the question to drop. So let's have a quick hello from our lovely Nicki. Hi Nicki, how you doing?
Hi Alvina, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. I can't believe it. It's our very last show, Sunnah and Spice.
It's definitely gone really fast.
It has, hasn't it? How have you found it?
I found it. I found it educational myself.
Yes.
It's been interesting. It's been something different that I've never done before. So it was a challenge to begin with, but I think I've overcome it.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it, and now that I'm used to it, it's coming to
It's
an
coming
end.
to an end. But having said that, nothing comes to an end. As I said, Iman One, you are listening to, it is your local voice 24/7 all year round. So you never know. Watch this space. We might have something special coming up. So without further ado then, let's start by exploring how to celebrate Eid with balance and barakah. Now, Nicki, I know you've been educated here on the program Sunnah and Spice about the ways of eating, what the Prophet did, how he led. Now, Eid is a time for celebration, but it can also be a time of overindulgence. So, can you explain how the Prophet, peace be upon him, approached Eid meals? I know you've done a lot of prep on this, haven't you?
I have, yes. Well, the Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged moderation and simplicity. Even on Eid, he would eat dates, simple bread, and meat in small amounts, focusing on gratitude and sharing rather than excess. Celebrating mindfully means enjoying the food, but without overeating or wasting it. Just be mindful of what you're putting in your mouth. Planning Eid meals is to include everyone
100%.
in the family.
Yeah.
It's about portion control and, like we said, mindful eating. Just be careful. Just be thinking, what am I putting in my mouth?
Yeah.
And you don't want to overindulge. And it's the same. Include your children, your elders. No pressure there. So it just make it a fun event.
All right, excellent. So, you're saying about including children and elders as well. So, can we still celebrate with sweet treats as well?
Yeah, sweet treats. You can have them. Keep them in small portions. Maybe one per person. Focus on what everybody really likes. The flavour, the plaque, decay, whatever coming into your mouth. And then if you have a little bit later, your sweet treat, your blood sugar levels can skyrocket as well. But having it with the meal, it'll just stay steady.
Okay, I've got a question that's come in on text, and it says, should we fast on Eid morning?
Well, Eid is a day of celebration. Fasting, it's not required. Instead, start with smaller breakfasts or dates and then enjoy family meals mindfully, like we spoke about.
Yeah.
Just be careful, you're not overindulging after such a long time of fasting.
Mhm.
You don't want to overload.
Yeah.
I'm a fasting.
Mhm.
You don't want to overload.
Yeah.
So just be careful. Having too many sugary food. It might be great at that time, but you can have a sugar
Mm.
overload and maybe a crash an hour later, and you just want to go to sleep or just get lethargic and tired.
Mhm. So, how would families involve children then in healthy eating, as I put it?
Well, let them help prepare dishes. We spoke about this
Yeah,
last
we did,
week.
didn't we? Yes.
Yeah. How ask the children decorate the plates, even if you've cut the salad, ask the children to arrange it on the plate where they like smiley faces,
Mhm.
any trees, anything they like. Even ask the kids, this is a food we're going to prepare. Why don't you have a look online
Mm.
why this food is good for you?
Yeah.
Say like tomatoes and cucumber and the meats with the protein. Ask them to research it, make it fun.
Yeah, it's best to get the kids involved, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so following the Sunnah on Eid teaches, obviously it teaches us gratitude, mindfulness as well, and that celebration doesn't require indulgence. So I'm going to jump onto some Eid recipes and practical tips as well. So, Nicki, what are some recipes that are festive, nutritious, and easy to prepare?
Right. I mean, obviously, make sure you've got your protein and your carbohydrates, everything ready. Eat slowly. Give your stomach time to signal fullness. Just think, have I eaten enough? I know we don't want to waste, but you can always go back to it later. Serve moderation amounts. Just think about the person you're serving it to, whether it's your elders, your children, or yourself. Think, moderation is the key. And there's nothing you can't really eat. Everything in small amounts is fine. Just make sure that you're drinking enough in between all your meals, keeping the hydration up, and you're not overeating. And if you think, oh, I could still keep eating, sometimes we're just thirsty
Yeah.
without realizing it. We just need a drink.
Mm.
So always try and have a glass of water or a cup of tea, whatever you want, as long as it's not too sweet. Just be mindful of keep sipping and drinking throughout the day.
Excellent. Also, I believe you have got some recipes in front of you that you're going to share with our listeners. I know you've got like the two easy balanced options for Eid. One is chicken biryani, which you call it as your lighter version, and then you've also got the fruit and nut pirni, which is for people who don't know what that is. It's rice pudding. Are you going to talk us through the two recipes and why they are quite easy and balanced options for Eid?
Yeah, well, the biryani, you've got your carbohydrate in the rice. Include all your vegetables. Try and put in as many vegetables as you can. Even the frozen ones are great. We spoke about this last week as well. They're normally frozen on the day they've picked it, so they're quite good. Include as much you can, and then you've got your protein, your meat, whether it's chicken, anything. Um, Anything like that. So you try and use as less oil as you can, and steam the vegetables for nutrients, smaller portions, and so forth.
So, can you talk us through what you need for a chicken biryani? Like, what are the main ingredients?
So any chicken, whether it's breast, whether it's thigh, cut them up in small portions. You got your rice, your basmati rice, your peas, carrots, onions, minimal oil, and saffron if you can get it. Try and use less oil. Steam the vegetables, like I said. So if you want to cook off your chicken, fry your onions. You can put in your garlic, ginger if you wish, your cumin seeds. We have actually got just a little note in the hamper. We've got cumin seeds in there as well.
Yeah.
Fry them off and put your chicken in there, put your spices, put your tomatoes in there, leave them on one side, and then your basmati rice, you can either boil it first to make it simple, boil it up first so that it's not completely cooked, and it's not completely cooked, and then about 75%, and then start layering your rice, your chicken, your curry that you've made, your rice, and then the curry and the rice on top, and put your saffron on the top, and leave it to steam for another, say, about 15 minutes, and it's done. Very simple, very easy,
Excellent.
and very tasty.
Mouth watering.
And as far as the firni, the rice pudding, is concerned, you just need your milk. You can put in ground rice for extra protein, your dates, your almonds, your cardamom for extra taste. Try and use natural sweeteners like dates or honey instead of sugar. If you want an extra little bit of sweetness, maybe you can put in some dried fruits like raisins or cranberries that are dried. These are quite high in sugar as well, so just be mindful how much you do actually put in. But just be careful that if you are making the rice pudding, you're stirring it all times, because it can catch at the bottom of the pan quite easily. So try and use pudding rice as well, which cooks a lot quicker than basmati rice. Basmati rice can take up to an hour and a half, whereas pudding rice can take up to about half an hour. So it's a lot quicker. You can try and use whole milk as well if you can, rather than skimmed or semi-skimmed milk, simply because the semi-skimmed and skimmed milk has a lot of sugars in it, whereas whole milk has less. You wouldn't think it. Yes, it's got more fat in it, but if you are looking at the sweetness side of things, I would normally just stick to the dates and honey and the dried fruits. So yeah, it's great as a dessert option, and it'll keep you fuller as well for longer. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so moving on then from that. Obviously, the dishes, they are very festive, they're delicious, and they reflect the sunnah of balance as well. So, what about using seasonal fruits for desserts? What's your recommendation on that?
Yeah, you can use seasonal fruits. You know what's out there. I mean, now we're very lucky. We're coming into spring. We've got all the spring fruit out there. We've got the watermelons are coming out. They're very good for hydration.
Yeah.
Your strawberries are getting sweeter. I've seen cherries on the shelves as well.
Yeah.
So all the nice spring summer fruits are coming out. Great for hydration, like strawberries, blueberries, your blackberries. It's all brilliant.
Yeah.
Or any melon.
Melons and watermelons, yeah.
Yeah, full of water. Nice hydration there for you.
Excellent. Okay, and also you emphasize that portion size is important as well for shared meals, and also it's always best, like Nicki has says, to prepare ahead and to reduce stress on the day as well. So I've got a question here from a listener, Nicki, and they go, how can we make biryani less heavy?
Biryani less heavy if you include a lot more vegetables in there. The oil, you really, butter, ghee, whatever you're using, try and minimize it. So after you've cooked off your curry, your onions, garlic, ginger, we discussed this last week as well, you can actually take out sieve out the oil from the onions. So if you are watching your diet, even just to stay healthy, make it a lifestyle choice, rather than calling a diet or something. I do this all the time. If I think I'm frying a lot of onions, but there's too much oil or fat in there, I do drain it out after. So it's include vegetables, keep out the oil, and just include a lot of proteins and your fruit and veg.
Excellent. Got another question here. It says, any tips for making pirini creamy without excess sugar? Now, loads of people are quite diabetic, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Um,
So how would you overcome that then?
so you can get low fat creme fraiche. Some you can put in. I would say sometimes I put in cream cheese. It's got a little bit of a different taste to it, the low fat one. But I would use creme fraiche. I know a lot of people put in condensed milk, which is full of sugar. You've got your fresh double cream and the single cream, which is full of fat. But if you're making a big pot, like we discussed before, everything in moderation. If you're not having too much, it's okay for an occasional treat, but I would treat it as a treat. So yeah, that's what I would say. Smaller servings. Avoid piling the plates high.
Lovely. Okay. And also the Sunnah way as well. You can always use dates and honey as well. Right. Got another question for you, Nicki. And this one reads, can these recipes be made ahead of Eid?
Yes, make them ahead. You can make them the day before. We discussed this last week. You can make any dish and put it in the fridge for up to 3 days. And then if you are freezing them, you can freeze them on the day. So even if you made them now, you can actually make them and freeze them. And nothing wrong with it, as long as you freeze on the day that you've made them and they're fresh. And then when you're going to be celebrating, obviously we're going to have a lot of food, lot of preparation to do. So make things the day before. It's fine if you have the time. If not, 3 days ahead is okay too. And of course, freezing.
Excellent. I think it's time for us to introduce our final Indus Foods Ramadan Eid hamper competition. What do you think, Nicki?
I think so too. Yes, definitely.
Are you ready to drop the question?
Yep. So, which natural sweet food mentioned in the Quran is described as having healing for people? So, send your answers to 01902 972 150, or you can WhatsApp us on 0744 420 432. You can actually win this delicious Indus Foods Eid hamper. Please include your name, don't forget, otherwise we won't know who we're giving the hamper to. The hamper is absolutely amazing. We've got 3 types of dates in there. We've got ajwa dates, we've got, let me just have a look, majul dates and mixed dates. We've got all your spices. We've got, I mentioned before, cumin seeds, coriander seeds. We've got all your types of crushed chilies, powdered chilies. We've got chickpeas and different sorts of lentils in there. It's a full packed hamper that Indus are generously giving us to give away to you.
Excellent. So, Nicki is going to repeat the question one more time for you, the listeners, to take part in this Eid hamper competition. And remember, you can still give us a call only today during the program, or you can drop a text message by putting Sunnah and Spice with your answer. And the question is, Nicki?
Question is, which natural sweet food mentioned in the Quran is described as having healing for people? So again, send your answers to 01902 972 150, or WhatsApp us on 07440 420 432, and don't forget your name.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Nicki. We will remind you about the Eid hamper competition in the second segment of the show as well. Now, Nicki, many families find themselves overeating on Eid. Obviously, when the fast finishes, you just tend to just eat and eat and eat and eat because obviously there's been so much food that's been prepared by the families. So how can we remain mindful?
Just be careful what you're eating. Be mindful. You're celebrating joyfully. Maintain your health. Follow the Sunnah. You if when you're full, tell yourself you're full. You stayed healthy for all this month, and you want to stay this way. Just be careful of the sweet treats. of the overindulgence. Just look after yourself and don't forget to exercise as well. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Obviously, I think at times like this, you have to give your stomach time to signal fullness. And as always, smaller portions, which Nikki spoke about. So serve in moderate amounts. Don't overfill your plates. Like they usually say, your eyes are bigger than your plate, don't they? And also, Nikki did touch up earlier on about staying hydrated as well. Drink water between meals to prevent overeating as well. And gratitude. Come on, guys, that's most important. Pause to say Bismillah and reflect on the blessings as well. So, Nikki, what about fried foods for breakfast or brunch? A yay or a nay?
I would actually say an A.
Mm.
It's like sugar overload when we have sugar and we have a crash.
Yeah.
Fried foods. You've been so healthy all this time. It can give you bloating. It's not good for your skin, especially with our children. They're growing up, teenagers, with their breakouts and stuff. It's just overall not as healthy. But I'm not saying don't eat fried foods. Yes, eat fried foods, but just in moderation, not every day. Just as a maybe an occasional treat.
Excellent.
It's good.
I don't know, you through your answers and most of them, you were encouraging people to include vegetables or even light salads with the rich dishes, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Always try and include salads in your meals, light salads. Even on your salads, include pomegranates, grapes, any fruit. It tastes absolutely. You might think, oh, sweet and savoury. I don't know how that goes, but try it. It's absolutely delicious, and it gives you a different dimension to your taste buds.
So what would you recommend? How do we balance multiple Eid meals in one day then?
So make sure you have your healthy portions first.
Yeah.
Always include your salads and your fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Have your treats with your meals.
Yeah.
Stay healthy, moderation, be mindful, and just enjoy the day, enjoy the food. And yes, you're going to have fried foods there. You might have samosas, you might have pakoras and fries, chips. Just again, be mindful. You've been healthy for all this month. Just like I said before, just try and be mindful.
Excellent. Have you got any tips then for social gatherings then?
Yeah, I mean, when you have your social gatherings, encourage the people that are coming to your house to bring a dish and tell them, say, we're being extra healthy this time. Can you bring something that's not overloaded with sugars and fats and so forth? But again, it's a nice day, it's a treat, it's a party. You want nice treats and nice foods, but again, just be careful what you're having.
Brilliant. Now we're coming very close up to the break. We've got 20 seconds left. So let's have a bit of reflection on what Nicki has been talking about. So mindful eating ensures we celebrate joyfully, maintain health, and we follow the Sunnah. Right. We shall see you straight after the break with more tips and advice. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Sunnah and Spice with myself, Alvina, Ali, and also Nicki Kainth, aka the Indian Foodiva, who is in the studio with me. I was just saying to Nicki, I just can't believe how quickly these 4 weeks have gone.
Yeah, they've gone really fast.
They have, haven't they?
Yeah.
So it's just like we started yesterday, but I hope our listeners have found the program very useful with all the tips and advice given via Nicki as well. And most of you have caught up to speed with the prophetic ways of following the Prophet's way, the Sunnah way, as I would say it. Now, what I'm going to do is I know Nikki's been on the show and she has been giving her expertise advice and she's been sharing her recipes as well. I'm going to drop a few questions to Nicki now because many of our listeners, Nicki, know you as the Indian food diva. So tell us a little about how your journey into cooking began then.
My cooking journey actually started when I was very young, maybe about 8 or 9. I've always been very close to my mom, so I would stay attached to her as she was cooking, and I'd just ask her questions. How do you cook this? You did this durga. What is this? You know, you're making this sort of vegetable dish, or how is that different to say making say bindi to mix sabji? Why? And she just told me it was just the same durga more or less for everything, and it just clicked. She didn't actually let me cook until I was about 12, but then by about 13 I was cooking for the whole family. I just had a passion for it, and I think when you've got a passion for something, it does come naturally, whether it's art, whether it's cooking, anything. If you're a plumber or a mechanic, anything that you've got a passion for, you'll learn it a lot faster. So I just loved being at home with my mom. And my cooking style, I think, came from just looking at cooking programs on the internet and on TV to start off with. And I would actually scribble the recipes down, and I wouldn't just watch the programs, I would actually make them.
Okay.
Even if they turned out wrong.
Oh,
Yeah, it didn't turn out wrong, but it was just different.
So who would you say are your celebrity chefs then? Who've inspired you?
I still watch a lot of James Martin on a Saturday. I do like his style. I make a fabulous sticky toffee pudding, and that is my signature dinner party sort of dessert, and that's from his book.
Excellent.
It's just lovely. You have to serve it with Haagen-Dazs ice cream. I know there's a lot of other ice creams out there, but that just complements it really well.
So when did you realize then that food had become a business for you then?
So under lockdown, I thought I can't sit here bored. I'm the type of person that finds something to do even when I've got nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I thought I might start doing afternoon tea with the cakes, because obviously I discussed this at the beginning of the 4 weeks, that I actually make celebration cakes as well. So I'm a baker as well. So I thought, why not do a takeaway with dessert?
Great idea.
And people loved it because they said it was something different. They got the starters, they got the mains, and they got a dessert. So it was a 3-course meal. So and then second lockdown, I had to think what to do, because obviously there's only so many afternoon teas we can keep having. And I started my food, doing the starters, mains, and desserts, and it just took off.
Excellent.
And now I concentrate mainly on private and corporate buffets and chefing. I go to people's houses. I either teach them how to cook, or I do them the dinner party. That's all fresh. And if they want to learn, that's fine. If not, it's all cooked on their premises and served to them at that day, on that day, on
That's
that
a
evening.
great initiative, that. Well done.
Thank you.
Because I know there's quite a lot of people who are isolated, and obviously some people with mobility issues who have problems cooking, or even opening a tinned can or a jar because of mobility issues, and obviously arthritis and whatever. And having Nicki there is quite a great incentive where she can go around and do some chefing for people. So how can people get in touch with you then, Nicki?
So I'm on the social medias. On Facebook, it's the Indian Foodiva, and Instagram, and I'm on TikTok as well, and the same for Instagram. So or you can call me on 07956 154 170. My telephone number is public, so if you have a look at the Indian Foodiva, you'll be able to contact me regarding any parties, any occasion you might have, and from Asian food to British to Chinese to Mexican to Italian.
Wow.
You can have anything you wish.
Brilliant. So what made you turn your passion for cooking into a brand like the Indian Foodiva then?
Like I said, in the lockdown, I was struggling to be bored, and there's only so much Netflix you can watch. So I kept thinking I did register my business with the council a few months in advance because I was thinking about it, but then lockdown prompted me, and I kept thinking of the name. I contacted all my relatives, all my friends, asked them to find a name, and then I just thought of the Indian Foodiva. 1D, so it's FOODIVA.
Yeah.
So I just love cooking, and I just put my passion into it.
A great brand name, that, as well. It's great, really, because obviously you share quite a lot of cultural food traditions as well through your cooking, and you also support communities through food. I know, Nicki, you've been involved in Macmillan events for Secret Angels. Do you want to elaborate more on that?
Yeah, I mean, in working for Secret Angels, it's just been wonderful. And when you give back to your community, to people in need, it's just such a good feel good factor. And I just love doing it. I mean, on Macmillan we made lots of bakes, from lemon drizzle to chocolate brownies. We had cupcakes. We must have had about 12 different types of cakes, I think.
Yeah, we do. Quite a big stall full of cakes, didn't we?
We did really well. And this year at Macmillan, I'm actually thinking of making fresh jalebis on the day.
Wow. In advance, Nicki will be making fresh jalebia at the Macmillan Tea and Coffee Morning, hopefully, which will be in September or October. But keep watching Secret Angels Instagram page, and we will announce the date of when we will be doing the Macmillan Tea and Coffee morning or afternoon, depending on what time of day it falls on. Right, Nicki, I think I'm getting answers in for the competition. And can we remind our listeners how they can win this fabulous Indus Foods Ramadan Eid hamper? Drop the question.
So, which natural sweet food mentioned in the Quran is described as having healing for people? So, call us on 01902 972 150 or text us on 07440 420 432.
Excellent. And again, we will be contacting the winner once we're off air. And then obviously we will make arrangements to get the hamper dropped off to you as well. Right. Okay. Moving on. Now, Nicki, you talked about a lot of cultural cooking that you do, obviously from Chinese to Mexican to Italian. Now, food is definitely a big part of culture. So, how important is it for you to keep traditional flavors alive while also making dishes modern and accessible?
Yeah, I mean, so last night I made chicken pasta.
Mm-hmm.
I fried off the onions and the garlic and put in some passata. But I like to keep my dishes with, like, yes, make them traditional, but I have to put a twist.
Mm.
So it's normally my dishes are mostly West meets East, whereas this was like more of an Italian, so it was Italian meet East.
Mm-hmm.
So I added some garam masala and some tandoori powder with all the Italian mixed herbs, and honestly, it just brought up the flavour another 10 notches.
Mm.
It was absolutely delicious. So you can add that to any dish you make. Even when I make like a pizza, the sauce I put in all the Italian herbs, and then I do add some masala in it as well. It just
Mm.
gives it another nice kick to the taste.
Mm-hmm.
So just make it. Or we discussed this last week. Try and put in as much herbs and spices you can to your meals rather than loading it with salts and sugars. There's so much spice out there that you can use to just to give your taste buds an extra taste.
Mm. Well, growing up, because obviously you said you started cooking quite early on, have you been passed any recipes through generations that you've kept on board and you kept it as a tight secret?
Nothing's a secret. If anybody asks, I'm quite willing to come forth. The main thing my mom taught me was the tolga is the same.
Yeah.
And that stuck in my head. I do change it, obviously. If I'm making like a mixed vegetable or any vegetable curry, I slice the onions in lengthwise. If I'm making something like a chicken dish, I might grind the onions down or chop them up really finely. But more or less, it's stuck in my head, and it's the same thing that's always stayed the same. So it's the same tadka for anything you make.
Excellent. Nikki, I'm going to go on to back onto Ramadan and food as well. Now, as an Indian food diva, you've probably seen many households Ramadan cooking, which has a special feeling attached to it. So, what does Ramadan food mean to you personally then?
Well, to me, it means, yes, having a gathering, having a party, having
Yeah.
a celebration, but also for me, it's mindful eating. I'm always conscious, like yesterday when I made the chicken pasta, I use whole wheat pasta.
Yeah.
So just be mindful of what you put into your food, because your family's going to be eating this. But it's not to say you can't use white pasta, but once it's in the food, you can't tell whether it was white or whole wheat pasta. Use, when you're cooking a rice dish, use brown rice. Yes, it takes a lot longer, but it's got a lovely nutty taste to it. So I would say that I look forward to, and I do cook the healthy way. Even when I'm making wraps, I use whole wheat wraps, the tortillas. So just be mindful. That's what I would say my party would be. All nice food, but the healthy way.
Yeah, I think the good thing about Ramadan is the family gatherings, what Nikki's talked about, and also what my mom tends to do is she shares the food with the neighbours, and also, most importantly, cooking with intention and gratitude. Once again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now I'm going to jump back onto food and community. I know you spoke about Macmillan, where you're very involved in community work as well. So how powerful is food then when it comes to bringing communities together?
Food's very important. Obviously, we all need it to survive. I mean, I love helping out at the charity, and seeing the people that are struggling, and we're there to give them a guiding hand, giving them what they need, and making sure that they're all right. And
Are you talking about Secret Angels Food Bank?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Secret Angels Food Bank. it's a great feeling knowing that you've helped somebody. I don't often talk about what I do,
Yeah.
but I do enjoy helping the community, making sure they've got enough food and they're looking after themselves.
Excellent. And I know you're quite heavily involved in the collection of the food waste as well, aren't you, from different organisations? So
Yeah, so we do that on a Monday evening because obviously Secret Angels Food Bank is open on a Tuesday morning.
yeah,
So the night before, we gather the food from the various the grocery
locations.
shops,
Yeah.
supermarkets, and we sort them all out, and then we go to our centre and we put them in the fridge. What needs to be going to keep chilled, and putting everything out. So in the morning, everything's sorted and easy accessed for our other volunteers to give out to the community.
Excellent. Definitely a lot of hospitality there, and I've got to say, hospitality in Islam also is key. We're going to go into some of Nicki's kitchen secrets now. So, what's one cooking tip then, Nicki, that you wish more home cooks knew?
I think knowing what you're buying and it's not sitting in your cupboards,
Yeah.
just going out of date. Like I said to you, my one thing is a torga. You know what you've got.
Yeah.
And that I actually cook that in bulk, and I flat pack it and I freeze it.
Excellent.
And making sure that the spices you're buying, you are freezing. If you're not using them, you can actually freeze them as well. But I normally buy smaller packets,
Yeah.
so it stays fresher. Although I have got airtight sealed containers, I still only buy the smaller amounts because I'd rather buy fresher, so it stays fresh for longer.
Yeah.
Even though the date might be a year, 2 years, it's just that it's nice to have it fresh.
I think there's that, and I think there's also a good way of obviously layering your spices as well. And like Nicki says, she does a batch full of torka and puts it away. And like they say, cooking slowly also adds flavour to the dish as well. And like Nicki said as well, using fresh herbs.
Fresh herbs or
Yeah.
dried are fine. But if you can get hold of fresh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And if you're not going to use all your fresh herbs, wash them, dry them, cut them up, chop them up, and put them in the freezer.
Excellent. Great. So, Nicki, if someone was visiting the Indian Foodiva kitchen for the first time, what dish would you serve them?
For the first time, I know we spoke about sweet treats.
Yeah,
But I make the most wonderful Biscoff Millionaire shortbread.
I know you do.
Alvina's had it once or twice.
I have had it more than once or twice.
Yes. And it's something, because everything's made, apart from the Biscoff biscuits, which I do buy,
Yeah.
crush them down and put butter and lay the bottom of the tray. But I do make the caramel, and then the topping, everything is done, all by scratch, and it's a wonderful treat.
I love that. I love the, what was it, multi
It's Biscoff Millionaire shortbread.
Biscoff Millionaire shortbread. Now, why that dish and what makes it special then?
I think when people try it for the first time, and this is generally everybody
Yeah.
say to me, they've never had anything like this before. In fact, I've made this, when people give out sweet treats for a
Yeah.
birth or for weddings,
Yeah.
like a box of mithai. I've actually done this as part of their mithai package to give out with their cards, with any celebration that they might have. So it goes down wonderfully with everybody. It doesn't matter what occasion it is.
Excellent. I'm going to do a fun rapid fire round questions for you now. And it's great to see that other presenters have taken up this little idea of mine as well through their shows. And it shows that it works. Well, anyway, Nicki, let's do a quick Sunnah and Spice rapid fire round then. So, one spice you can't live without.
I would say my garam masala.
Oh, okay.
I do actually make that as well. I buy the spices, I roast them in the oven, and then I grind them down myself.
Excellent.
and the aroma is just unbelievable.
Right, garam masala it is then. Your favourite Ramadan dessert?
My favourite Ramadan dessert is a rice pudding, and in the rice pudding, I actually finally grate the carrots
Mm-hmm.
and I put them in it,
Mm.
and I put in some coconut. You can either get that desiccated coconut or you can buy it in the freezer, which is the actual real coconut that's still fresh but frozen,
Yeah, yeah.
and raisins and some nuts, any nuts.
Bista.
Yeah, any you
Mm.
can have pistachios, you can have almonds,
Mm.
anything you like.
Mm.
And that is my favourite dessert.
Excellent. Okay. Dates or samosas first at iftar when the fast breaks?
Oh, definitely dates.
Good,
They're
good answer.
absolutely delicious. I love them.
Yeah, I like the medjool ones.
Yes,
Mm.
definitely.
Okay, one dish you could eat every day.
I would say my favourite lunchtime treat is for myself is any sort of curry that I've made, like a vegetable curry. I
Mm.
actually put that in a toasty maker, but I put cheese on top.
Oh, okay.
And then if you put that in the toasty maker, oh, it's
Mm.
absolutely delicious, especially in the winter months. I know it's coming up warm now, but that is my favourite go-to
Mm.
sort of lunchtime dish.
Okay. What about your favorite comfort food? Have you got one as being the Indian food diva?
I know we discussed the millionaire biscoff, but that's got to be it.
Okay.
So it's a biscoff
I don't blame
millionaire
you.
shortbread.
Mm.
Even if I cut off a square,
Mm.
little tiny bit after a meal, but I do try and have my sweets straight after my food, so that it can get digested in your stomach with the food, and
Excellent.
it's good for your teeth as well.
Excellent. Sweet or savoury snacks?
I have got a sweet tooth, I'm not going to lie.
Mm.
Yeah, I have got a sweet tooth.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I've always got Biscoff Millionaire shortbread because so many people order it.
Mm.
And I do cut off a little bit and maybe have that, not every day, maybe, once or twice a week.
Okay. One food that reminds you of childhood.
Um, Rice with peas.
Okay.
Yeah, my mum used to make that all the time for us.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I think it's the same here. Or fish and chips on it every Friday. Okay. Your kitchen must have gadget. This is your last question.
Right, I've got this contraption
Mm.
and it's like a grinder, but it's a pull cord.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it for about 3 years now,
Mm.
and instead of me taking out my great big massive grinder and washing it down, this is just quite compact. You can get it from any supermarket now.
Mm.
I got mine from Morrison's. Other supermarkets are available.
Excellent.
And it's brilliant, easy to clean, quick, simple.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of Sunnah and Spice series, Nikki.
Wow, that was fast.
It went really fast. Now, as you know, I've been your host, Alvina Ali, with a heartfelt thanks to our lovely Nicki Kainth, the Indian food diva, for sharing her wisdom, recipes, and practical tips to celebrate Eid mindfully. Now, remember, Eid is a day of joy, gratitude, and moderation. So enjoy your meals, celebrate with family, and keep barakah in your food and hearts. And don't forget, Indus Foods has made it possible for listeners to win a hamper. So thank you to everyone who's taken part in the competition. And thank you for listening. And may your Eid be filled with joy, health, and blessings. Assalamu alaikum.